Hello and welcome to the JCPod. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler Parnell, JCP, or that boy JC. I won't even lie to you. Just gonna hop in right into it and explain it. Supposed to have a guest today. Due to technical difficulties and timing of everything, it didn't work out. So, gonna have to have the guest next week. Kind of infuriating. I really plan on having a guest this week. I basically planned everything around my guest all week, spent all morning preparing it, and it just didn't work out. So, if you can't tell between my frustration, I lost a lot of time yesterday trying to figure it out, and I just took me all the way up to the end, basically. So, hopefully next week, like I said, we'll have a guest on then. For now, basically, you only got your boy. So today I'm basically just going to go over my bets for the March Madness for today. Probably tweet out my picks for tomorrow for the people who actually care and follow this. So, if you would care to follow me on Twitter, to know that up there on the scroll bar, at Jaden95Chandler, I'm going to be tweeting out probably the rest of my picks for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But, without any further ado, I think I'm basically just going to hop right into it. Today's not going to be too long. I'm basically just going to walk you through my... Do I walk you through my bracket? I might just walk you through my bracket and then tell you bets for today. So this is my bracket. This are the teams. This is how I think it's gonna go. Not exactly like this. I want to kind of be a homer and pick Purdue to win it all, but I know better than that. So if they win it all, hopefully they do. I have a futures on it. If not, I have my futures on this other team we're going to talk about here in a second. So in the South, I'm going to break it down region by region. So in the South region, I have Alabama beating Corpus Christi. Of Texas A&M. I got West Virginia beating Maryland. San Diego State losing to Charleston. I got Furman beating Virginia, so I have a 12-13 upset right there. I got Creighton beating NC State. I got Baylor moving on against USSB. I got Utah State beating Missouri, and then I got Arizona beating Princeton. This turns into Arizona beating Utah State, Baylor beating Creighton, which is a toss-up. I am very torn on that. That might be switched in the next, hour. Basically, until this tournament starts, I'm by the way, it's me recording. It's about 9 in the morning before the games. Damn allergies just apparently pop up every time I'm about to record to make this sound like more shit. No, but I'm going to have Baylor beating Creighton. It's very close. In some other brackets, I have Creighton moving on, but we'll see. The more I say it, the more I might switch it, but we'll see. And then I have Alabama beating West Virginia, Charleston beating Furman. Bama beats Charleston. Baylor beats Arizona, and then I have Baylor moving on to the Final Four from their region, beating Alabama. So now in the East, I have Purdue beating Farley Dickinson. Speaking of, by the way, I'll touch on those 64 round game, the first 4 games in a minute. Got Memphis beating FAU, Oral Roberts beating Duke, the Louisiana Raging Cajuns beating Tennessee. So I have another 12-13 upset right here. I think one of these two teams will win. I might switch Oral Roberts because it's a really, really trendy pick, but I don't know. I might just leave it. I got Providence beating Kentucky, so I have the 11-12-13 in this region moving on. I got Kansas State beating Montana State, Michigan State beating USC, Marquette beating Vermont. Moving on, Marquette beating Michigan State, Kansas State beating Providence. For now. I'm going to switch that to Providence right now just because I have Providence moving to the Sweet 16. Oral Roberts beats the Raging Cajuns. Purdue beats Memphis. I think Purdue gets some revenge, beats Oral Roberts. Revenge against the smaller schools that upset them from last year. And then I got Marquette beating Providence. And this is where, in my brackets, I have some change. In this Elite Eight, I have Marquette beating Purdue. And for most other brackets, I have Purdue beating Marquette. For the Midwest, we got Houston beating North Kentucky. Iowa beating Auburn. Don't feel good about that one. Drake beating Miami. Might flip that last minute. I have IU beating Kent State, however. I don't have them going too far. I got Iowa State beating Pittsburgh, which makes me kind of nervous after watching the first round. Xavier beating Kennesaw State. Penn State beating Texas A&M. And then Texas barely beating Colgate. I think Colgate's going to cover in this game. I'll touch on it in a minute. Or it might be my Friday bet. I can't remember when this game goes. I got Penn State beating Texas. Xavier beating Iowa State. Drake beating Indiana. Houston beating Iowa. Houston beats Drake. Xavier beats Penn State in a close game, I feel like. And then Houston moves on to the Final Four. So my final 4 teams are Baylor, Marquette, and Houston. Going to the last region. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll in the app too and go quickly. Last region, we got the West. Kansas beats Howard. Arkansas beats Illinois. VCU beats St. Mary. UConn beats Iona. TCU beats Arizona State, who shot the lights out of the gym last game. I mean, my lord. Gonzaga beats Grand Canyon. Northwestern beats Boise State. And UCLA beats UNC Asheville. I got UCLA beating Northwestern. Gonzaga beating TCU. UConn beating VCU. And Kansas beating... Who are they beating? Sorry. Arkansas. Sorry, I couldn't read. Then I got UConn beating Kansas. Gonzaga in a rematch against UCLA, moving on to UCLA. And then I have Gonzaga going to the Final Four, which means my Final Four bracket is Baylor, Marquette, Houston, Gonzaga. I got Marquette and Gonzaga moving on, with Marquette winning it all. So we'll see. Is this going to happen? Probably not. I expect to get a decent amount of the picks wrong, probably. Especially like the upset trendy ones. But I just feel like it's going to be a weird year where we see a lot of like the weirdness. But yeah, so that's who I like for this tournament. If you want to watch again, just rewind a bit. I don't think I need to go over the whole bracket again, basically. But now that you know it's out there, you kind of are going to get an idea of what I'm flowing with, what I like. Now, going into today's games, we got a good slate. There's a boost out there for Kansas, Alabama, Houston, and UCLA to each win by 11 points, plus 200. Maybe. I think they're all 20-point favorites, aren't they? I mean, that might basically all of them to win by double digits. That might not be too bad. Yeah, moving on to today. I do have a few plays already, like I said. I'll shout them out at the end, but for most part, also, by the way, Monday, I just can't, I'm sorry for the way I sound, by the way, I can't stop it, just leaking snot out of my nose. I was perfectly fine, and I just started recording, so this thing's running like a faucet right now, and like, so goddamn infuriating. Can't stop. Alright, we're gonna pray I can actually breathe and finish out this episode. I mean, my lord, these allergies, boy. So I already got some line movement in my favor, which makes me happy. I'm on West Virginia. I got a minus. Those lines has already moved my favors a little bit, and that kind of makes me happy to see. Just going in, West Virginia favored by 2.5. That hasn't really moved at all. Furman and Virginia stayed at 5.5 for a while now. I want to take Furman in the points, obviously, because I picked them, but I feel like I want a few more points. But I also feel like I should just quit waiting because they didn't go up overnight. I was hoping they'd go up overnight, like right before the game, but they didn't, so I might, as we're speaking, just add Furman to the slate, just because I like them and I picked them, obviously. I think I might be mistaken, but I think no, Colgate's a really good 3-point shooting team. Don't listen to me. I just like Furman in this upset spot here. I think Virginia had a really rough end to their tourney, so that's probably my explaining there. So I'm actually on all 3 of these early games. I'm on West Virginia minus 2.5. I'm on Furman plus 5.5, and I also am on Utah State minus 1.5. I don't know. I just like the way the West Virginia one I actually do like more than the rest of these. The rest of these I just feel like kind of shots in the dark. But sorry, this is gonna mess down the stretch. These allergies, boy. No, but Texas Corpus Christi is 23.5-point dogs to Kansas. Is 22.5-point favorites to Howard. Alabama was the team that was favored by 23.5, by the way. UCLA is 17-point favorites. And then Houston's as well 17-point favorites. That plus 200 boost isn't like too bad. Because all these teams should win by double digits. Keyword is should. We'll see if they actually do. Yeah, that's actually not too bad of a play now. That might be an actual consideration from your boy. Sorry for like a little bit, like 2 or 3 minutes of like weirdness or weird time. I'm telling you, these allergies are killing me right now. I've had to blow my nose 15 times, and I've been recording for maybe not even 30 minutes. So it's like, and it's all been happening this last like little stretch where I'm just having to constantly get up. So we're gonna hopefully battle through and be able to breathe the rest of this podcast. I think I like Kansas. I like all those teams to win by 11, like that Boost said, but I don't know if I like them to cover the big spreads. I think they should, obviously, with how good they are, but I'm not going to take it personally just because it's a little big number. Hopefully no more blowing my nose. I hope I did it for the last time. Like I said, these are one of the lines moved in my favor. Charleston's now 4.5 point dogs. I got them at 5.5, so that's good. Huge there because I really do like Charleston. I think the public's starting to be a little bit on my side too, so that makes me a little nervous, but I do think I like it. Arizona 14-point favorites over Princeton. I'm not taking this game. I think Arizona should win though, but I have no idea who's going to cover in that game. Illinois, Arkansas. I really don't know. I picked Arkansas, but I don't know how I feel about either of these teams, especially Illinois. I've watched Illinois be on the weirdest stretches as of late, so I think I'm just going to stay away from this. Iowa is technically the dog. They're minus 108. Auburn's minus 111. I don't know. I don't think I like anything in that much. Colgate moved down to 13.5. It was 14.5. I missed it on the 14.5 the opening day. So it hasn't moved yet, so that kind of stinks, but I'm glad I'm at least on the 13.5 in case it goes down again. Oral Roberts, they're plus 6.5 point dogs to Duke. Alright, I just had to grab an allergy pill. I wasn't fighting it. Like I said, Oral Roberts being 6.5, I kind of want to take it. I thought it would balloon a little bit more, though, potentially. 6 just scares me, though. I don't know. I have a lot of games bet right now, I think, and this game starts at 7, so I might sit on it for a bit, but you could see me bet it. It's going to be, man, I just can't tell you how excited I am for this weekend just reading through these games. A lot of good news. Friday's slate's really, really awesome. I'll read that through in a sec. So I'll finish reading off this Thursday slate, I'll read Friday's slate, and then I'll probably end it, which is giving you my picks for Thursday. Boise State, 1.5 point dogs, Northwestern. I like Northwestern in this. I bet Northwestern in this. I like their defense. I think their defense will help them out a lot. I know a lot of people like this team also because of Boo Buie, but they also have some other decent scorers. Brooks Barnheiser. Excuse me, sorry. Brooks Barnheiser, he's been playing decently well for them down the stretch. Chase Aldige, he's one of the top 5 defenders in the country. I think that I like the way that Northwestern team has a chance, and I think they can do something about it. 9 o'clock tonight, Houston, 17.5 point favorites against Northern Kentucky. Not taking anything, think they should win. Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, are 10.5 point dogs to Tennessee. I took advantage of this line. I got this line at 11.5, I believe, or 12.5 even. Or I did not. Man, I could have sworn I did. Give me a second. I thought I bet on this team. Yeah, I'm looking through my slip. I could have sworn I did. I guess I put him in the slip and took him out. Well, that sucks. I just lost a whole point. I did have Louisiana Lafayette plus 11.5. I guess I might have cashed it out right away. Sorry, I mean my phone apparently doesn't think Raging Cajun's a word. Okay, so yeah, I definitely like that play for today. I think they'll keep it close. Obviously, I haven't winning my bracket, so that makes me a little biased. Penn State, I like them over Texas A&M tonight. They're 2.5 point dogs. That game makes me nervous though. I think both these teams. I think Texas A&M got super underseeded, and it's just a tough matchup for two teams who had a chance to actually do some noise. Make some damage, make some noise. Do some damage, make some noise. I said that thing backwards. But no, I think they actually have a chance to do some damage a little bit. And now they have to play each other. But I think the winner of this has a chance to go on for a few rounds, potentially. Last game of the night, UCLA versus UNT Asheville. We'll have to see. I think UCLA wins. Will they cover? Probably, but we'll have to see. I think the injury might hurt them a little more than they think. Start off Friday, USC versus Michigan State. I'm on Michigan State. It's minus 2.5 now. I got it at minus 1.5, so happy about that. Xavier, 12.5 point favorites over Kennesaw State. Feel like the line's a little too big for Xavier, but they should win. Baylor, 10 point favorites over UC Santa Barbara. Might take this if I can get to 9.5. But even 10.5 I think should be decent. VCU plus 4.5 against St. Mary's. I'm probably going to be all over VCU. I don't think St. Mary's offense will be able to keep up with them. And then I think St. Mary's has a decent defense, but I don't think they have the scores to keep up with them like that. Especially if you saw that Gonzaga game they played. Last time they played, they got blown out the gym basically by Gonzaga. And Gonzaga just had decent offense that night. So if they can have a little decent offense, then they can be good. Marquette over Vermont. Give me Marquette. I don't know if they'll cover 10.5. That scares me a bit, but I think they win for sure. Iowa State versus Pitt. I have Iowa State moving on. I might take Pitt plus 4.5. Not 100% sure. I have no idea on that game yet. Creighton, NC State. I have Creighton moving on. 5.5 point spread. I don't know about that. It feels like this game might end up being a little bit closer. The UConn Iona. Now this one I'm a little mad about. So everyone's all over Iona. I got UConn minus 9.5. Now the line's minus 8.5. So this is I think out of the 4 or 5 that moved in my favor. This is actually a lie because the Raging Cajuns won. So this is the second one not to move in my favor now, but I got good odds. I think I got minus 102 on 9.5 versus minus 120 on 8.5. So I'm not too mad about that. Farley Dickinson plus 22.5 over Purdue. I'm big Purdue homer. I might take them solely based on the fact that the last game they played, they shot the absolute lights out of the gym last night. Or yesterday. They played Texas Southern, and my goodness. I mean, between them and Arizona State, like, they both shot the complete absolute lights out of the gym. It felt good to be on both sides of those games because those were quick blowouts. 3 and 4 March Madness so far for your boy. I missed the first round with SEMO. SEMO lost by half a point. That damn hook, bro. Hey, we're doing so good. We're doing so far so good March Madness. We're going to enjoy a little bit. Provi, 4.5 point dogs against Kentucky. Definitely like that. Give me the 4.5. If it was 3.5, I'd be a little hesitant. But the farther it goes the other direction, I like it to cover. I think it's going to be a close game. Drake is 1.5 point dogs against Miami. That might make me lean on Miami a little bit, even though I have Drake winning. But I have no idea in that game. I'm a little nervous now. Gonzaga, 15.5 point favorites against Grand Canyon. I think Gonzaga wins. Probably should cover. Memphis, Florida Atlantic is going to be a really good game. Memphis is a 1 point favorite. I might 1.5 point favorite. Might end up taking them. We'll see. Kansas State, 8.5 point favorites against Montana State. They should win. Probably should cover. Kent State, 4.5 point dogs to Indiana. No idea. Indiana's so up and down. If you stop Trace Jackson Davis and Jalen Hood Schifino, their team's done. You stop the 2 double last name people, then they can't do anything. And then TCU, Arizona State at the end of the night, 5.5 point game. I like TCU. Will they cover? I don't know if I like the points. I think it's a little too high. If it goes a little lower, you might see me on it. Okay, so that's going to do it for today. My final bets to end it are West Virginia minus 2.5, Utah State minus 1.5, Charleston plus 5.5. I have Colgate plus 13.5. I don't think they play today, but I just have it written down on my slip. I might have to look at it. Northwestern minus 1.5, Furman plus 5.5, and then the Raging Cajuns plus 10.5. It's the madness, baby. I'm sprinkling on a lot of games. Probably going to end up betting on a lot more games as we go throughout the day. Friday's bets, like I said, I'll tweet them out. Saturday's bets, tweet them out. Sunday's bets, tweet them out just because of the madness and since I'm not doing the episodes. But, man, can't believe the madness is actually already here. We got games starting in 3 hours from now. Crazy to think about. I will catch everyone on Friday. Again, by the way, I'm sorry about the guest thing. That really, trust me, I really wanted to have him on. I thought it was going to be a great conversation. Very frustrating, but hopefully we'll be able to get him on some other time next week. And yeah, just thank you for all the patience and appreciation. I'll be appearing on Captain by Hook with a Red Beard, I believe, again tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know what that's going to look like since the games are going on. Probably a quick episode, I would assume, if I go on. But after that, Monday, more NFL news, a lot of more free agent signings for some money that we have to talk about. More madness talk, and then Thursday is just, again, a lot more madness talk. Thank you for everyone who's watched. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope everyone has a great madness weekend. And, hey, let's win some money, man.